He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. And the wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart.
So why did God create wine?
To make the heart of man glad.
Anybody in here over the age of 21 that drink? Y'all tell me, how does alcohol make the heart glad?
I also have another question. So a lot of times Christians say, Jesus drank wine, but yeah, I was studying this the other day where it said like the wine that Jesus had was different, like at the end of the wedding. I just wanted to hear what your guys' opinions was on this, because there's that debate where like Christians can drink or Christians can't drink. I just
Whoa.
want to hear Brother
What was the
Josh's perspective.
difference? What was the difference between the wine back then and the wine today?
Well, like it said that the type of wine that Jesus made was like the best, because depending like on the wedding at that time, they served the best wine for last. And so
So does best
when
mean
like
no
the groom,
alcohol?
that's what I'm confused on. So if it was a different type of wine, if it had alcohol or not, so that's why I'm like, are Christians allowed to drink because Jesus drank? Or I just want to hear your guys' perspective, especially from Brother Josh.
Wine was pretty much an accessory to meals in the ancient East. All throughout the Bible, you read about people drinking wine, and never once does it mention a non-alcoholic wine. When it says
Mhm.
wine, it always means wine. You just don't supposed to get drunk.
Okay, okay.
And if it says that the wine that Jesus made was the best wine people ever tasted, it could be one or two reasons. What usually makes wine the best tasting wine? Y'all should know that. What makes wine the
Uh,
best tasting wine?
the alcohol.
Old. Somebody said it. Old. Old. They said it. Time. Old. They're right. That's why they say age like fine wine. That's what makes wine the best. Or it could have tasted the best because it was made directly by Jesus. You follow what I'm saying? It was miraculously made, right? But the bottom line is, if it's called wine, that's what it is. Sometimes they call it the juice of the grape. And people try to say, well, it doesn't say fermented grape. Dude, the way the ancients wrote about stuff, they would often call it based on what it was made from. Like, for instance, in the Bible, it says Jesus was hung on a tree. Was Jesus hung on a tree? Was he? No, he wasn't hung on a tree.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
was hung on a wooden cross. So why did they say he was hung on a tree? Because the ancient Hebrews would often refer to something as what it was made from rather than what you turned it to, or what it turned into. They did the
Okay.
same thing with wine. Wine is made from grapes. So they'll just sometimes refer to it as the juice of the grape. And people try to run over there. See, it just said the juice of the grape. It wasn't saying that the grape was fermented or that it had time to ferment. Shut up. That's not what it means. It just means that that's where it came from. That's all it means. So when you read wine in the Bible, they drank wine. Jesus drank wine. The disciples drank wine. You got some of these people who getting their AA on. Their Alcoholics Anonymous real tough. And when you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and good for you if you went there to try to stop drinking, they tell you at Alcoholics Anonymous that never drink, period, again. That's the best way. And I agree with that. If you got an alcohol problem, don't let any alcohol touch your lips. I believe in that. But a lot of people try to take that approach towards drinking in general, and they try to make the Bible say alcohol, period, is a sin if you drink it. And that's just simply not true. So they drank wine. They drank the kind of wine that got you drunk. You just don't supposed to get drunk.
Sure, sure. Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I had. I'm really happy that you guys were able to have me here, and I'm really happy you guys had this conversation. Well, you
No
guys have a
problem.
good night. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's pretty late here, so
Praise
have a good
God.
night.
Be safe.
Praise God.
GiDeon, I got something
All
I
right.
want you to pull up for this too. Give me Psalm 104.
Psalms 104:14. He calls up the grass to grow for the cattle and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. And the wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart.
So why did God create wine?
To make the heart of man glad?
Anybody in here over the age of 21 that drink? Anybody in here in the chat? Y'all tell me, how does alcohol make the heart glad?
I would get happy when I was drunk. I was a happy drunk. I was,
Not to get drunk. We ain't talking about drunk though, but it definitely did do something to you though, didn't it?
yeah.
That buzz. That was somebody said. It's like a buzz. Talking
Well,
about that sensation that it gives people. You know, most people drink when they're partying. You follow what I'm saying? When they're celebrating, having fun, right? So when he said that wine makes the heart glad, that's what that's getting at. So how can wine make the heart glad?
you gotta get a
This
little
ain't talking.
buzzed.
This ain't talking about no non-alcoholic wine. It is not talking about that. The Bible does not speak of a non-alcoholic wine
Didn't Noah drink wine?
and got drunk. Yeah. Was that non-alcoholic?
It indeed was. So was Jesus' eyes red from the wine that he drank?
No, it said his eyes were as flame of fire. That's how he looked in his angelic form.
Oh, I thought I
The
heard
only
people say
time it
that was
describes
what
Jesus'
like
eyes
wine.
in the book of Revelation.
That's what I've just heard. So that's why I was curious. Yeah. They say because he drank wine, that's
He
why his
come,
eyes were red.
so he's coming. Somebody told you that Jesus' eyes in the second coming. So what are you doing? Getting drunk in heaven?
Hey.
He's showing up. He's showing up
Listen,
to work.
listen.
He's showing up to work drunk.
Those IUIC days were dark, brother Josh. I don't want to go back.
I'm just saying.
So what would you
Trying to
recommend
get
to
what mark
Christian?
down.
Me and Nee, we drank a glass of wine. Well, not it wasn't even a glass. It was like we took a shot of wine for New Year's.
Well, I don't drink at all. I don't drink anything. The only time I drink also wine is on Passover. And it's not because it's I think drinking is a sin. I just don't drink and I just don't smoke. It's just me.